I'm currently live on party.com/world of t-shirts. I just shipped my pants! I'm not coming home. I'm staying in Costa Rica. I'm gonna live there. April Fools! First of all, everything's in Spanish and prices are in the colonas.
World of T-shirts is back in the similar grind that he's been doing for some time. He's traveling to different countries. He's wearing the same green pants since St. Patrick's Day, flying on international flights, just stinking that whole fucking place up. Can't control himself. He even had another fish incident recently. Now, I wasn't really sure how I was going to present this in the video because you know, there's a decent chance I would get taken down for the implication of things, but needless to say, Josh, his track record with animals, not great. Not a great look from good old Joshy Poo here, but instead, we're gonna fixate on some of his hygiene issues. You know, he's been a little bit of a stinky boy over the last, I don't know, 2 years. And it's only gotten worse and worse and worse. And it sort of stemmed from, there's this other guy, I've never really heard of him before, named Bassmaster or something like that, who interacted with Mr. Bass and Josh was just, he wasn't feeling him. He didn't want to interact with him. He didn't want to collab with him. He didn't want to do any of that. And he was just having a hard time because his eyes are on the prize, and the prize are running down the street trying to find his next liquor bottle he can down, alright? So stop asking him questions.
No, I don't want to stay at
Please.
your house. No!
Do you know how many people would love to be invited to stay at Bassmaster's house?
No!
Just stay for a couple
I
days.
said no!
Alright! Alright! You alright, Jack? Ed, you alright?
I'm fine. Please, Josh.
No!
No, I was thinking like fast forward. In
Shut the fuck up! I said no! I said it a dozen times. Nothing's gonna change that.
And it's a bit surprising, and I apologize. Bassmaster, not Bassmaster Saturated, you stupid bitch. Josh would collaborate with anybody. We've seen him go on all these different trips with the Duncan guy, with Adam22, going all over the place interacting with people, but no. An acquaintance of Mr. Bass, we're not having that. We're not dealing with that. I just want to get out of this car right now and chase people down the street. Alright, you think I have time to go to your luxury house to stay in? We ain't doing that. Now, unfortunately for Josh, right, he has these interactions, he's doing a stream with these guys, and, you know, Mr. Bass, always on the hunt, always on the prowl, to get the next big juicy content, you know, so I can sink my teeth into and saturated content can make a commentary video about. And it just so happens that they are discussing Josh's lack of hygiene and how he smells like wet hay and or a homeless person.
Well, I think he can smell better or worse on different days. And one day was like, it did smell.
You're correct about that.
And yeah, when he was sitting in your chair and he got up, it was like, wow. You know, but that's just, you know, somebody that's not showering regularly enough. And it is what it is. It's fine. But then yesterday he was at my house, and to be honest with you, dude, there's a certain smell that I recognize on a lot of homeless people, and he has that. He slightly has that smell.
How would you describe that smell?
The best way I can describe it is like hay. Like, you know, hay in a barn?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I do smell that around Josh a little. But hay isn't a terrible smell, though, right?
Exactly. That's why I don't mind the homeless smell. Dirt of the world.
I don't know if you've seen his fingernails at times. They're so caked thickly with dirt. It's like it almost looks like they're painted, like two-tone, you know?
Yeah, and I know clipping nails for some autistic people is a challenge.
I think like all the maintenance it takes to have proper hygiene is like an overwhelming amount of shit to do for him, I'm guessing, the way he looks at it.
Because if he's only going to shower once a week, make it count, because he's probably not even showering once a week, I would imagine.
I've offered him $1,000 to go shower privately at my house, while we're streaming in the living room, and he won't do. Like, I've tried really hard. That's one of the things I've never been able to accomplish, is to get him to actually shower. And it's an important one, but it's much harder than you're making it sound.
Well, yeah, well...
He just lies and says he did it, and then he didn't do it. You know what I mean?
This is a tough look, right? And Josh obviously doesn't really care. There's no real ramification to him, because people are going to keep... Mr. Bass isn't going to turn him away because he's too much of a stinky boy, all right? But $1,000, I know, and we'll get to this a little bit later, Josh has been... we started out with him saying, I only make 60 grand a year, I can't do this anymore. Now he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, allegedly. So $1,000 is nothing, Mr. Bass. You're gonna have to amp those numbers up if you want to see some decent hygiene off of this boy. And it just, it makes my spine shiver a little bit, because, not to brag, but I shower basically every single day. I know, a bit of a flex. I'm sorry. I get the scrub-a-dub-dub and I'm going to town with it. But, with Josh, I just start to think, I've seen Cyrax, I've seen Cobes, and I see bugs start to form, they start to come out of nowhere, and I'm like, this dude is literally drinking himself to death and running down streets and living in the gutter and doesn't clean himself. I can't imagine. Just picture this in your head. Take your your middle finger and your index finger, rub it against your arm, alright? Now imagine what that would feel like if you did that to Josh's arm. That's all I'm trying to say, right? I'm just saying, the vibe's probably just a little bit off. Just a teensy bit off. And, we get it a little bit worse. So, for some reason, Josh, when he's doing his live streams, he doesn't really have an understanding of the social construct of where you should and should not stream yourself. It just so happens that for some reason recently he chose to live stream himself in the bathroom, and I'm sure his hygiene in there was just A+, just supreme.
Right there.
Wait. What's going on?
Right there.
I think I backed it up again. My God, I had to shit big.
So these are two different splice clips, alright? I'm not gonna pull a fast one over on you, alright? The other time was Mr. Bass trying to get content. This time was Josh literally live streaming himself taking a shit in the bathroom. And then he backs it up. It's just too much, the forces of Jaeger and whatever, Mike's Hard Lemonade combined together with oysters. Just, it's too much for the New York City sewer system. And unsurprisingly, he doesn't wash his hands out the door. He also brings his drink into the bathroom with him. And it's just like, it's grossness like this, right? But it's like, it's kind of expected. Your expectations whenever you watch anything related to Josh should be at like below ground level. You're in the basement at this point. There's no real redemption associated with that, and you're just kind of stuck here watching him just slowly decay. And then we get to see some more like public interactions of how stinky he is and how dirty he is with other people. He went on another one of those like I don't even know how to describe them, air quote dating shows where the guy stands there and they bring out like a carousel of different women and then they like roast each other, but they pretend like this is a date or whatever. I don't know who the target audience is. It's not me. You know, I'm over here fucking picking my nose. I can't be bothered. So whatever. You know, he has a nice date with this lovely lady and they start to talk about personal hygiene and how to take care of yourself, and it doesn't go very well.
You see those? Like, no, your nails look nasty as fuck. Like, come on.
I didn't clean.
Come.
Hold on. I'll do it.
You're gonna do it? Like, look at that. Come on, dog. Like, you're not, you're not touching me. Right. Go to Ling Ling. No. Oh my God. Stop your mess.
Come on.
Give me that. Give me that.
Come on, stop it.
Oh my God.
I know how to use a nail clipper.
Wash your
I know.
hands.
I don't brush my nails when I'm in the shower.
So that means, well, how are you going to keep yourself clean? You can't keep me clean. You can't keep the house clean. You can't keep nothing clean. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter.
It don't matter. I'm trying to teach her to be clean.
It doesn't matter.
You have to keep a woman with clean nails. Like, you can't have dirty nails.
I'm beautiful.
Josh, how does she smell?
You're 1 out of 10.
Josh wanted to call her a bitch so bad. You know, his instincts were kicking in, but, you know, she's bigger than him. The fight probably wouldn't go down super well, but I don't know if you want some, like, feces-riddled claws just slicing into you. So maybe Josh has his own, like, poison immunity that keeps people away. Kind of like a, you know, wild animal in the Amazon rainforest, you know, keeping the predators off your back by just being a real big stinky boy. And watch him trying to clip his fingers with the nail clippers was just brutal. I've seen it before. So I mentioned in the past I used to watch a lot of, you know, Jason Genova, Del Rey Misfits stuff. There was a clip of Jason Genova trying to clip his toenail, and he just like rips at it. He like cuts it at first and then just rips at it. And that's sort of what Josh was doing, giving me a bit of anxiety. I don't like seeing that. And speaking of which, you know, in the previous episode of World of T-Shirts, we discussed how Josh potentially got diagnosed with pancreatitis, and it's probably affiliated or related to his alcohol consumption. Now, he's gone a little bit of time without a big flare-up, and we still don't technically know for certain. Josh obviously said it wasn't pancreatitis, it's some sort of abdominal issue, whatever. Well, it's back again, and he's just sitting there having a rough time.
Josh, what do we do for a living? What do we do for a living?
Not much.
Not much. Did chat make those girls leave us? They did, right? What's that? You alright? You gonna vomit? What's going on?
So he has to sort of get into this mode, right? You know, we see it a lot whenever he's drinking. He gets into this mindset after he has one sip of alcohol where his body's like, I ain't dealing with that. Now he's just sitting there doing nothing. And his body is just like, you know, DEFCON 20. You get this bro out of here. Put him in a hospital. Can't be dealing with that. And at the same time, so we have like instances like that. And I wanted to make sure that we still included some classic freakouts from Josh, because I think that's some of the most enjoyable moments. To see, you know, the cult of personality that is built around Josh over the past year is pretty bizarre. For the most part, when I first started talking about him last summer, I felt like he could go out places and not really get recognized by anybody. And nowadays it's like he can't go anywhere without a group of people forming. And we get stuck with this situation where, you know, I forget what they're called, but, you know, people in the community call them like saviors or whatever, trying to protect Josh from the horrible evil people trying to aggravate him, and it doesn't go super well here.
Spitting's bad, Josh. Don't do that.
We don't like you.
Stop spitting, Josh. Stop it. Stop it. Josh, come back in the house. Please. All right, let's go. No. Oh!
Josh, it's
It's okay.
All right, let's go in the house. Go in the house. You made your point. Go in the house. Go. Run in the house. Go. Go. These are nice people with us. Go.
Come on.
What? You want it? You want it?
Josh, come back in the house.
And I didn't even hear anybody say put the fries in the bag, and he's already going on his meltdown. He can't control himself. Throwing a free beer, that was a gesture of peace. You know, that was an offering to become best friends, sing Kumbaya together, and understand you can have a nice little drinky poo. But no, he's just gonna smash it on the ground. He can't be dealing with that shit. He doesn't want to deal with it, alright? He just wants to go out and party hardy, alright? And that's what he's gonna do.
The star of our show, Mr. Joshua Block. How are you, Josh? All right, so McSorley's across the street.
We're not going anywhere.
We're totally not going. You want to see if they recognize us with the wigs?
Will, trust
Do you want to go to Standings?
Stand, we could try standings.
Yeah, that's a good one. This is way out of the way of those punks, right?
Yeah.
So this
Believe me, I've tried to sneak into McSorley's with a pink wig. It did not work.
This is some sort of like late stage dystopian civilization footage I feel like you would find. This would be like the precursor films at the beginning of a Mad Max film, where it's like, here are the final days of civilization before everything went to shit. Here's a 50-year-old convicted felon and a 30-year-old, mid-20s, autistic alcoholic man wearing wigs walking down the street discussing which bars he hasn't been banned from, which is kind of surprising. You know, I like my nice hole in the wall type of bar, but I'm not getting rowdy enough to go bananas and get banned from places. And obviously, you know, you start towing the line a little bit once you start live streaming everything you're doing. If you're taking your drinks and your dirty claws into the bathroom and just taking a massive dump, it's gonna rub some people the wrong way. But Josh is always looking on the bright side of things. You know, he sees all of us as being little peons now. In the past, he was a little peon. He was a little baby boy. You know, he couldn't afford a lawyer. He couldn't fly all over the country. He couldn't do any of that. But times have changed, and we are gonna rue this day.
Have a great night.
I make 400 grand and you don't. Loser, 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 loser. Loser,
They are
loser,
losers. They are
loser, loser, loser.
I'm gonna call the cops.
Can't be loved by everybody. Come on, Josh.
400 grand a year.
He's a loser.
I make
He's a loser. Shh.
I make
Quiet,
400
quiet.
grand and
Quiet.
you don't.
You know he's a loser.
Yes, I do.
You know he's a
Yes,
loser.
I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I understand for all the broke boys that are out there that are feeling kind of bad. You know, Josh is making 400 grand a year. It's probably not reflecting super well for yourself. You got to go to the ball crushing facility every single week. It's hard work, and all he has to do is get drunk and fall into the streets. I mean, that's a difficult time, but you can just reflect. He can say, I make 400 grand and you don't. Well, you can just, you know, respond back. Let's own him. Let's own him. I'm going to live to be 40. Oh, burn. You know, it's just like, I don't know how I've reached this point in my life where I'm I'm arguing with a perennial alcoholic man who lives in a city that I don't live in, and is just, we're beefing over it. You know, we'll make it to 40. You know, that's one bonus. And there's this old-timer clip which I want to show where Josh is literally running down the street and some dude is filming this from like the rooftop, and it is just cinematic gold.
I make 400 grand and you don't. I make 400 grand and you don't.
This is like the cutscene or like the post-credit scene in a Marvel movie where, you know, the villain escapes from the prison and he's running down the street singing jollily, so you know that, you know, I insert superhero villain here movie part 2 is coming out, and you just get so amped up for that. Now, sort of as a continuation of the previous clips of him walking around talking about how braggadocious he is, how cool he is. Well, unfortunately for him, he's got people following him around, and now he's got a guy who's doing drive-by, put the fries in the bags, and Josh doesn't understand how this man keeps finding him.
I'm scared.
No, you're not.
Get him away.
You're not scared. Come on.
What's he gonna do to me? George!
No, Josh, no.
Run.
No, please, Josh. My house.
They're after me.
No one's after you. No one. No one's after you. Run to my house. Go to my house. Go to my house. Go to my house.
Go!
No, it's 20 feet. Go.
Go away.
Forward. Run forward. Run. Go. Run to my house. Stop it. Stop. You're going to get hit by a car. Stop. Run.
How'd you find me again?
Go, 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 go.
This damn country.
We're
I
almost
want
at
to
the
go
house.
home to Italy.
No, we're almost in the house. We're almost in the
This
house.
damn country.
Up the stairs,
I want
Josh.
to go home to Italy.
We almost saw Josh retaliate against Mr. Bass, his one true lover. I'm not, there is trouble in Hollywood at this point. He's about to bash him with the tripod, giving Mr. Bass some flashbacks to what was going on with Alex Norvell. I don't know. History likes to repeat itself a little bit, but they end up going back to the apartment and doing whatever. It was a typical type of Joshua Block, Mr. Bass stream type of thing, but I thought it was worthwhile to discuss some of his hygiene issues. It's become more prevalent. As I said at the beginning, those green pants he's been wearing, he's worn them for almost a month straight. And obviously, here's a crazy idea I've never even considered. He's not washing his clothes, right? You think when he does change his clothes, you think he just throws them in a trash bag and just gets ready to throw them on another time? I'm actually curious about that because he's living in and out of hotel rooms and in different countries. He's not going to a laundromat. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll leave you with this final clip, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Josh, no, don't end it. No, don't end those streets. It's so good. No, Josh, no.